#1 digital radio station and Houston's home for JAMZ.
Hey, and we are back right here on a Mountain Moving Monday, and of course you're locked in to none other than my Monica Radio Talk Show, where we talk about people, politics, and purpose every single Monday Central Standard Time right here on KPJZ 95.3 JAMZ. And guys, as I promised, I was bringing in Judge Rachelle Carter all the way out from Fort Bend County to talk about why she is running to be your next Fort Bend County judge, the CEO of the county, the highest office out there. And she's sitting right next to me, and she's going to tell you guys why she is running, why you need to get out there and vote for her, and what she's going to be doing if she makes it into the office. So I want to welcome to the stage, to the studio, Judge Rachelle Carter.
Yay! Hello, Monica.
Hello, Judge. You're already a judge, but I know people are probably going to get that confused because you're running for Fort Bend County Judge, but you are actually a judge.
That's right.
So can you, we just dive right in. Tell us what the difference is so that people understand that you are running for the highest office as the Fort Bend County Judge, but you are currently a judge.
Okay.
So what does that mean?
So that means is that right now I'm the Associate Judge of the Sugar Land Municipal Court.
Gotcha.
And that's in Fort Bend County. And that is a judicial role. So, you know, I hear trials, people come up.
Okay.
And then the Fort Bend County Judge is a non-judicial role. So it's more like, I tell people to kind of take away the term judge. Is more of you could say the mayor of the county.
Okay.
It's the
CEO.
It's the CEO.
Sounds really
the person who sits in the middle seat of the commissioner's court, the presiding commissioner. But
Okay.
it's basically just, I tell people it's sort of like the mayor of
the county.
Of the
Okay,
county,
that's a good way of
So it's a non-judicial role, but I have a judicial hat.
Okay, so you are currently a judicial judge.
Yes.
Basically, you decide on you do trials and cases, and you hear different offenses, I guess.
In traffic.
In traffic, I'll say. Okay. So, well, that kind of helps our listeners to determine what the difference is. So, you're a judicial judge right now that sits on the bench, and the role that you're running for is Fort Bend County Judge.
That's correct.
Which is like the mayor, as you described, of the county.
Right.
Okay.
And I also have my law firm still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
She's still a lawyer, y'all.
I'm still a lawyer.
Yeah, so she still works for a living.
Yes,
she still works for a living.
Okay.
Well, I like that. So, you know, when I was talking to you in regards to your platform, and I know people are just pulling you left and right and every which way in regards to you running for the highest office in the county. I need to just remind you guys, hey, what's going on? Thank you so much, Judge, for jumping in. And so I want people to understand, like, what your platform is, what it looks like, and how does that really build capacity for the future. Like, what can people look forward to? Because all these cards, guys, they're so cool. I love the cards when people bring them in. They look wonderful. But tell us, what really is a new vision, a new direction?
Okay, so can I go backwards a little bit?
No, but that's fine. Yeah,
okay,
go backwards.
so let me go backwards. So let me tell you why I decided to run.
Okay,
Can I just start
we're
there?
gonna get there.
Oh, okay. So the reason why I decided to run, do you remember what Hurricane Beryl happened in 2024?
Yes,
Okay.
Living in it in Missouri City, yes.
And I was out of power for like days upon days upon days, and I truly was sitting up there thinking, what is going on and what is happening?
Yes.
And what is going on with our emergency preparedness? And I just said to myself then, if something comes available, if that position comes up, I was going to run. I honestly said that to myself because I was just that mad. And so it did, and I decided to run. And while being out there and talking to the people and hearing what else the problems are, it's just astounding to me. We have a lot that the residents have to say along with me, because I'm a resident of Fort Bend County. So my platform is basically, I would like to become the Fort Bend County Judge. I would like to bring what I hear the people saying that they want or they feel that they need, and go in there and try to implement it. Now, it's just not an I, it's a we team, because there's 5 commissioners, right? But and to work with them to try, because that's what we are supposed to be there to do, is serve the people of Fort Bend County.
Correct.
And it's just so much. talking about from potholes, from I see utility poles leaning, from wires hanging. So we have roads not finished. We have a food drought. We have a hospital drought. We have a lot more going on, and I see our budget has gone up from 19 to now. But we're spending money to me personally, on things that
are frivolous.
That should go towards our needs first. We shouldn't we need to fill potholes. People shouldn't be riding down the street in their cars and the tires are getting torn off. Or I actually was in a city in Fort Bend that doesn't have a grocery store.
Oh my gosh. So that's a food desert right there.
There's a food desert.
And so I hear you talking about infrastructure, externally, as far as, roads and things like that. But as far as the internal infrastructure and economic development and growth, what do you foresee being able to do in this particular role? Because I see economic development is on your list of things, strengthening public safety, fiscal responsibility. You talked about that. Community engagement. You talked about that a little bit. And supporting your veterans, advocating for elderly. But what does economic development look like from your lens?
Well, for my lens is that what I see a lot of business either going out of business or leaving. There's a lot of empty businesses, and I would like for them to stay. I don't know. I think we need to revisit whatever programs or incentives that we can have to make them stay or bring them here. But more businesses is more jobs. Having a relationship with people. I just want to see our county thrive, right? I'm here for my children are here. I like my grandchildren to be here. And I just want more for this county. I just want more.
So sustainability for the future. So the future generations that are to come, which is important because, as the original generation is here and they kind of, phase off, move away, die off and things like that, you need to have people constantly moving into the county. And we are one of the fastest growing counties, in the nation, really, and one of the most diverse.
Right.
And so when you're looking at, the next generation, as you mentioned, you want something for your family, your children, and your children's children to be moving into this county. They need to have infrastructure. They need to have, hey, Yolanda, thank you so much for jumping on.
And our county is growing.
It's constantly growing.
I think we're at 1 million. We're almost at 1 million.
Well, yeah, I think we're like around 900.
Yeah, but we're
so
almost
by 2030,
there.
we'll definitely be at 1 million for sure. If we can grow the county and keep leadership in perspective, because if you guys don't know, we're tuned in, locked in with Judge Rachelle Carter. She's a municipal judge out there in Sugar Land, and so she's running to be the highest office in the county, which is Fort Bend County Judge, which is a kind of like the CEO of the county. They basically sort of set the precedence of running the commissioner's court. They make decisions. They are the kind of like the mayor of the county, as Rachelle mentioned earlier. And we're talking about economic development. And you mentioned that there are some food deserts out there. So some of the things that you're hearing from the residents and the voters, or there's no hospitals.
Right. There's also a hospital desert, which I was shocked, actually.
So
we have
right now we only have two hospitals.
We have St. Luke's, we have Methodist, and we have Herman Memorial.
Where is that at?
Sugar Land.
Oh.
Off 99.
Oh, off 99.
Right.
99. Okay, yes.
But,
well, I mean, most people don't live that way.
But what I'm saying is that we don't, but that's all we have.
Yeah, and those are just three right there on Highway 59.
Right.
But what happens to like Needville, and we have Needville, Fairchild, Arcola, Fresno, Missouri City. We have so many other areas where they don't have access to medical care like that as far as a hospital.
Right, they have to travel.
Right. And some of these rural areas, we have elderly, because I see you talking about advocating for the elderly.
Because my mom is elderly, so absolutely.
So advocating for the elderly would mean what does that look like? Is that creating programs, transportation, I know the healthcare is a concern for you as well, but what does that look like advocating for the elderly?
Well, we have what is called the Pinnacle Center. We have one, I think it's off Hobby Street, I believe.
Yes.
But I would like to see more of those, even if they're on a smaller scale, and almost in every single city, because some elderly, like my mom, they can't drive that far. From her where the Pinnacle Center is about 30 minutes. So my vision is to have even if it's a smaller scale version, so more elderly people can enjoy the services is what's happening at the Pinnacle Center. And so just having more services. For example, my mom was going to the YMCA in A-Leaf. Well, first she was going to the one off 762 that closed, and then to the one in A-Leaf, and that closed. And so just more centers where they can go and exercise and fellowship and eat, or line dance and things like that.
So getting them active, making sure that our elderly is active. And I know we have a lot of seniors out there that are super active. I know at the Landmark, they're doing their line dancing every Wednesday and Friday. And it's probably like 100 seniors out there. And so the Pinnacle is a great one. And so I definitely hear what you're saying is having more programs for your actual, senior citizens, and even the disabled community as well. So here's a really interesting question, dealing with public safety. We know across the nation there are vacancies across every law enforcement agency. And Fort Bend County, the sheriff's office is the largest, but holds the largest budget. And so how do we keep public safety at the forefront of the county and all the ETJs and all the county areas that municipal law enforcement is not present? How do you strengthen and collaborate and work with the sheriff's office and make sure that they have the budget that they need, the personnel that they need, with everything that's going on across our county and the nation? Well,
that comes into the budgeting. You have to make sure that our first responders have everything that they need, because that's what they're there for. They're there to protect us, right? And so my thing would be to make sure that budget, when we're budgeting and going through that budget or assessing that budget, that they have what they need. Either the raises that they need to keep retention, that is either for software that they need, cars that they need, whatever they need, because they're our first line of defense. And so I really truly believe that we need to make sure our budget is sufficient for them.
It's sufficient for. And I know one of the things when you're looking at the budget, because I deal with this from a city perspective, is looking at where we're top heavy, looking at where spending can be maybe reallocated. When you're looking at the budget now, I know there's a lot of discussion going on in Fort Bend County in regards to the budget, how things are being funded, how money is being spent, in some cases frivolous, or not in the best interest of the taxpayers' dollars. How do you see, because it talks about fiscal responsibility, how do you see, if you win this seat, how do you plan to address the budget if from your lens it's not adequate?
Well, first I would have to assess the budget. I would have to assess it with the team to assess
like the audit or something?
Right. The numbers, what are we spending it on? Where is it going? Where can we pull from? And what can we do to try to address the actual needs of what the Fort Bend County residents are basically saying or hollering about, not hollering, but saying, this is what we need, this is our problem. Can you help us? Will you be that person? And this is what I got asked. Will you be our mouthpiece? Will you get in there and not forget what we're saying, what's going on in our neck of the woods? And I said yes, because that is what I want to do. I'm a resident here in Fort Bend. And
Me
so,
too. We all are.
I have my own needs and assessments, and I think that we should do. And so I want to be that person who takes what everybody says. And matter of fact, I was thinking about this, that there should be some where you take people from different cities and you bring them together and maybe once a month assess and tell the commissioners or the presiding commissioner what is going on. Tell me what you need, and we need
like town halls
like
or something.
Town halls, but once a month, and everybody brings three from Neeville, 3 from Fresno. They come up, we all meet, and we talk about the needs of Fort Bend. What are the residents saying? What do they want? And so I go back to saying that goes back to the budget. We have to assess. I mean, we have 160 million going to the Epic Center.
Oh my, 160
I think
million.
it's 160 million. And so
I hope that's wrong, because I'm having a hard time processing
but
that.
what I'm saying is that, that's going to that, but that money, we just have a lot of needs in this county. We have a lot of needs, and before spending on that, why don't we fix the needs that we already have?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the smartest approach, is to address the needs that you have currently before tackling on, new endeavors, new projects and things like that. So let's talk about the Epic Center, since it was brought up, because there's a lot of discussion going on social media in regards to the Epic Center. For those that don't know, in Fort Bend County, the voters actually, I don't think the voters approved.
No, it wasn't voted. It was
the voters didn't approve this Epic Center to be built in Fort Bend County off of 59,
It's 59.
in Rosenberg, in a
36.
very secluded area. It's like the Smart Financial Center, but more on the lines of like a banquet hall, and it's not very pretty. It's not decorative. It's not like the best facility to host events and things like that. And so the goal, I think, what they were wanting was to draw in business and conventions and high profile events, and that didn't happen because a lot of people look at it and be like, that's not what we're looking for. And so,
but we're still spending money.
We're spending money
on it.
And it's a predominantly empty building,
right?
And the taxpayers are paying for this significantly. And now they're talking about dumping hundreds of millions of more dollars into it to do
the
some
parking structure,
expansion,
the hotel,
okay,
and just expand it out. But we just have too many needs. I mean, me just writing down 59, I saw leaning telephone poles and wires hanging down, and I'm just like, we have roads with no lights on them. We have rural roads with no lights on them. We have a lot to do in Fort Bend County. So let's try to spend our money. Let's fix what we need first before we do a project like that.
Is there a big ticket item that is, my first 60 days, 90 days in office, I want to address 1, 2, and 3? Do you have like, your top priorities based on what either your goals are or what the community has talked about or what you've seen in the need of the infrastructure of Fort Bend County? Do you have like something I'm like, when I get into office, I'm doing this?
Well, right now we have traffic, and we have traffic because we are a growing county, right? So it's traffic, it is fixing our roads, it's finishing roads, fixing roads. Also, I would like to address the food desert. I would like to address the hospital desert. I would like to address there's just a lot. There's just a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot that's going on.
There's a lot that needs.
And that's what happens, when you have so many different things, going on, and then there's some areas where they're insufficient, inadequate building and development and focus. This can happen. And then, of course, after so many years of this going on, things are not attended to properly. They just kind of become the new norm.
Right. I think we have some cities in Fort Bend County are built up. We have other cities that are being built up. We have some that seem like they're decaying. We need to assess Fort Bend County. We are all residents in Fort Bend County, and we need to address our immediate needs before we just build and take our money and build something that's really not giving us money back.
Correct. I
that's
agree.
just what I feel.
That's not being fiscally responsible for one. It's like you're dumping money into a sinking pothole.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. Like let's help the major needs that we need out there first.
Let's prioritize, and get it right. And so, and what's so interesting about this particular role is like you don't run the commissioners.
No.
And so I want people to understand, as the Fort Bend County judge, just like in Harris County judge, the judge doesn't run the commissioners. They are a team unit. There's 5 people that make up Commissioners Court in Fort Bend County, and you have 4 commissioners and you have 1 judge. And so each commissioner has their budget, has their priorities. They have, in their particular precincts, they have a commissioner, a justice of the peace, and they have a what's the other one? Constable. And the judge actually is the person that is the chair of the meetings. They help do the agenda. They run the meetings. They make sure that order in chaos.
Right, and they need to make sure that, and they hear everybody. You see what's going on now.
Yeah, I do.
People's voices are being silenced, or just because it might be the opposite of what you think or what you don't want to hear. That should not happen. That actually upsets me. Every single voice should be
whether you
heard,
like it or not.
Whether you like it or not.
Yes.
Right.
And that's the whole purpose of freedom of speech and public comments, and when people are not given their opportunity to express their concerns during public comments, at Commissioner's Court or even at a city meeting, it just is unfair to the public because, I want everybody to understand, guys, without the taxpayers' property taxes and the sales tax, we cannot do our jobs. In order for us to do our jobs as elected officials, we've got to have good partnerships and relationships with the residents, with the voters, with the taxpayers, because you're using their dollars. You're getting paid your salary and your benefits off of their tax dollars.
Right.
They should be heard, whether you like it or not. Don't take it personal.
Right.
As an elected official, let me ask you this. As an elected official, if you get elected, you're already a judge appointed to the bench. But if you get elected as the Fort Bend County judge, are you going to take it personal when people come up there and they say, well, you said you're going to fix the potholes and you still haven't?
No.
And,
no.
How are you going to handle opposition?
As a matter of fact, we should have report cards like in school. We should have, we can do
report cards.
this and this, and we should have some kind of a report card, progress report, something, so that people can see that, or people can see what I said that I was going to do once I get into office.
Okay.
I really believe in being accountable.
Okay.
Right? And then I also believe that this seat, now this is just me, Monica, that seat has not, the person who's in that seat needs to be held accountable, and then they have reverence for that seat. And I say reverence because they need to understand why they were put there.
Yes.
The people put them there, and they should be accountable to the people and accessible to the people. And I really wholeheartedly believe that. Just like I am as an attorney, as accessible as I am as an attorney, I believe that the Fort Bend County judge should be just as accessible, because I am there for the people. We as commissioners are there for the people, right? And so I believe I don't have any problems. I think that every voice needs to be heard. I think you should be accessible, and I think there should be something, what I said, maybe coffee with the commissioner. I made something up where once a month that, whoever wants to come and maybe we have coffee in the back, but you tell me what's going on. What's going on? What can we do better to serve you? Because that person who gets up every single day should say to themselves, what can I do better to serve Fort Bend County?
Yes.
Because that's why I'm there.
Oh, I like
every
that.
Single day.
That's
every
good.
Single day.
And that's holding yourself accountable. That's allowing the public to hold you accountable. And you become more effective that way, because I always tell people the people who know what's best are the people who are on ground zero.
Right.
You know, and you can learn
continue to be on ground zero.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Not forget that you're just out there campaigning for no. I tell people when I'm out there talking to them, I say, if you have barbecue, I shall be there.
Yeah.
With Tupperware. Right?
Not the Tupperware.
With Tupperware.
Not the future Fort Bend County judge trying to get free food.
I believe in being accessible and present and being out there even after being elected. You have to be out there. You have to see your county. You have to see what's going on. You have to talk to the people.
Yeah.
And if they think you're doing a bad, tell me why I'm doing a bad job. What can I do to make it better? How can we meet in the middle? I fully believe that wholeheartedly. I think some of our people that we elect to get into office forget why you're there once you get there, or forget about us people, or you don't make yourself accessible. You forget.
Well, because and that's another issue too. When people vote people in, they haven't done their research, they haven't done their homework, and they're just voting based off of popularity, or I know this person, or that's my friend, or the same race,
or the same
religion, the same ethnicity, like whatever. Voters have got to stop voting based on relatability and start voting on reliability, because that's going to be important for sustainability, and having someone proper in office. And so I know you mentioned at one point off camera that if you were elected, you would look into maybe doing like a call center, or having something like that. That way, how could people reach you, and have that dedicated line? Because I believe you mentioned the county has 17 departments.
It's 17. So the commissioner's court, 17.
Oh, 17.
So the commissioner's court is executive managers of 17 different departments, right? But what we talked about offline was, because I'm so passionate in making sure that people can have their say with the commissioner, or being able to reach me per se, that I wanted to have some type of customer service line, something so they will get an answer quick, fast, in a hurry, like within 24 hours. I really, truly mean that.
Having like a dedicated line or email or something like that for people to
reach the commissioner.
Okay, that sounds good. It's almost like public comment offline.
Right. But I'm wholeheartedly for that. And and then, like I said, once a month I thought about, just not commissioner's court, but just like coffee with the commissioner. Come up there. Tell me what's going on. What's bothering
Well, you as the judge, the commissioners would do their own coffee.
Right.
And so you would do like drinking with the judge or something?
No, not drinking, girl.
No. Well, I mean, like drinking coffee. Like, y'all get out the gutter. Okay. Whatever. Tea with the judge. Something like that.
Tea with the judge.
So you definitely, when you get in there, you'll figure something out.
Yes,
I'm sure you'll have a great team. And people to kind of help you get acclimated and, create an avenue for your concepts and your ideas. And guys, we're talking to Fort Bend County candidate for judge out there who is running, Judge Rachelle Carter. She's going to be your next Fort Bend County judge for the 2026 primaries. We're talking to her about why she's running and why she wants you to give her your vote. Hey, and I want to just do a quick cue. Okay, I got this side by side. Does she look like her picture, y'all? Does she look like her picture? Yeah, I get on Candace all the time because I look at these pictures, and when they come into public, I'm like, who are you? Y'all got these AI photos, and so she looks like her actual photo.
It's me.
Okay, so when you see her, you'll see, oh my gosh, that's that lady that was on the Movn Monica radio talk show. You see it? I'm doing a side by side. You see her? Yeah. See? She looks just like her photo. And that's a good thing. That means she's genuine. She's not putting up this random, she combed her hair, and the next thing you know, you see her with a blonde wig on or braids, and you have no idea who she is. What you look like, candidates, on your push card is what you should look like in public, so people can recognize you, put a name with a face. And so we definitely appreciate you coming in today, Judge Rachelle Carter, and kind of just sharing with the listeners on 95.3 JAMZ and our viewers on social media live as well. about your bid to be the next Fort Bend County judge. As you guys know, this is a race in the primaries, okay? It is not on this November 2025.
It's in March.
It is in March. And so early voting, and she is running on the Democrat side, okay? So she is a Democrat. And early voting is going to start February 17th, 2026, all the way through 2027. It's only 10 days to early vote in the 2026 primaries, and election day will be on March 3rd, 2026. And so if you haven't registered to vote, you can go ahead and start getting registered to vote for that election that is taking place. And then, of course, if you are 65 and older, disabled, or you're going to be out of town or out of the country or whatever, you can do your mail-in ballot application starting January 1st. 2026, okay? So make sure you take care of your business so that when you rolling up to the polls, you are ready to rock and roll, or if you need to mail in your stuff. And so, again, we're talking to the judicial Judge Rachelle Carter. That was a lot I was about to throw out there. Running to be your next Fort Bend County judge, the mayor of the county, the CEO of the county, the president of the county. Hey, whatever adjective and noun that you want to put on top of that, whatever works to help you remember Judge Rachelle Carter for the March 3rd, 2026 primary election on the Democrat ticket. Rachelle, as we close out, how can people reach you? How can they get in contact with you? Do you need people to volunteer, donate?
Yes.
Do you just want them to be Team Rachelle, share your posts? Like, how do people connect with you?
So we have a Facebook page. We're on Instagram. We also have a webpage, which is www.RachelleCarterCampaign.com.
Yep, and Rachelle is spelled Rachelle, Carter, Carter, campaign. Y'all better spell campaign right. Don't be spelling champagne. Okay, campaign, CAMPAIGN.com. We'll have all this information on our social media pages after the interview is over. But you can check her out. Go to www.RachelleCarterCampaign.com. And if you want, her email is there. You can email her. You can get in contact with anybody from her team. If you want to volunteer, if you want to get your steps in and walk with Rachelle throughout Fort Bend County, give her a call, give her a buzz. I'm sure she would love to have some volunteers. Or if you have a student in an organization that needs some volunteer hours, hey, this is a great way to, one, get your hours in while learning about the industry of Fort Bend County and what's going on in your county, because we are going to be training up the next future leaders throughout Fort Bend County. So we got Judge Rachelle Carter. We're going to be your next Fort Bend County judge in March 2026. So let's get ready to roll to the polls, you guys. Any last words, Rachelle?
Yes. Just want to say thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely.
You're just so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I did my hair and face today.
Yes. Thank you, and thank you, everyone.
So tell them what do you want them to do for you?
Need a vote.
There
Come
you go.
vote.
Come vote for who?
Come out. Come vote for Rachelle Carter. Come vote for Rachelle Carter, your next Fort Bend County judge.
I love it. All right, guys, you know what to do.
Yes.
All right, we're going to go ahead and tune off, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about these constitutional amendments and, get ready for this election that's coming up right now in November. But, guys, keep it locked right here. Thank you so much, Judge Rachelle Carter, for tuning in and locking in and joining us right here on KPJZ 95.3 JAMZ on Movn Monica Radio Talk Show, where we talk about people, politics, and purpose. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Y'all gonna have to go back and watch it on replay. Okay, it'll be on Judge Rachelle Carter's page, as well as, of course, on Instagram, the Monica Riley and 95.3 JAMZ.